Alrighty, so I found this Lenovo desktop at Best Buy. It has an i5-10400, which is a 6-core, 12-thread, pretty solid CPU. Definitely a really, really good starter CPU. 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is on the low side, but still good enough to play games. And a GTX 1660 Super, which is an absolute perfect starter card. It's perfectly right in the middle. It beats the RX 580, and it's about as good as a GTX 1070, which is the older generation graphics cards. It has a 256 gigabyte SSD. It doesn't say if it's M2 or regular, so I'll just assume it's a regular SSD, so that means that it's connected with a SATA cable. Sorry, swallowing. And a 1 terabyte hard drive. I guess that could be taken completely out of context. Probably shouldn't say words like that. And the 1 terabyte hard drive, which is absolutely perfect. First off, looking at this thing, it does have some pretty cool lighting effects going on with it. It does look like it's got the original cooler on this, so the regular CPU cooler. It doesn't have a shroud to hide all this stuff, and it looks like they're facing the power supply up, which I don't really like. It does have little feet, so you should be good. It does have a decent airflow, considering it's got slits here, slits here. Now, there's not too much pictures, and I don't know why it's got this really wicked spoiler going on. It would have been cool if they put the USBs on that and the power button. I think that would have been a nice touch, but they didn't. So the closest thing that I possibly can find to compare this to is this one. So it doesn't come with this aftermarket cooler, but it also doesn't come with a RTX 2070 Super. But the case in general is going to look like this. So it doesn't look too bad. I don't hate it. I definitely don't mind it. It has better airflow than most cases. It looks pretty sleek. I think you should be fine. I believe there should be fans at the front. I'm just hoping and speculating, but it doesn't matter because all I'm worried about is the price. If the components in here, are they good enough for this price? So I built this computer as close as possible, and I used the cheapest parts as possible. So we got the Intel 10400. We got a B460M motherboard. We have 1 stick of 8 gigabyte, and an HDD 1 terabyte, and the 256 solid state drive. A regular GTX 1660 Super, RGB case, a weak power supply, 500 watt. It's nothing fancy, and it comes up to $741, and this is also missing a Wi-Fi stick. This is missing Windows 10, so that's $20 right there. It's missing keyboard and mouse. Now, the keyboard and mouse that this thing has is not great by any means, but it's still better than nothing. Good chance you're probably not going to keep the ones that come with it anyways, but right out of the box, you have a mouse and a keyboard to get gaming. So I would definitely think that for $730 for a solid 6-core 12-thread processor and a solid GTX 1660 Super, you got a pretty decent build for $730.